Hi, I'm Megan from the Glass School. Over the years I've been specialising in teaching a broad range of kiln-formed glass techniques. We at the Glass School run an online education platform all about kiln-formed glass, and we're passionate about inspiring people to give glass a go. We have classes to suit everyone of all abilities, from complete beginners to established artists. We run masterclasses, seminars and have plenty of projects and courses, so there's something to suit everyone. Let's make some Christmas decorations. Okay, for this project we're going to do some engraved little Christmas decorations, and it's a really fun, quick project to do. So the tools we'll need for this will be a Dremel. I'm using the Dremel 3000. Some engraving bits, so I've got some ball end tools here, some engraving tips, and then I've also got a straight one, and that's for drilling a hole in the pieces to hang them up afterwards. So you want the ball ones, various different sizes. Or the small ones are quite good for this scale because they are quite small. I'm using irid glass, but you could use whatever you like. I've used different colours and it works quite nicely with just plain glass as well, just clear. I've got some stencils, but again, you can go freehand if you want, but stencils also work well for this. To cut the glass, I've got some cutting tools, goggles, and a circle cutter because I want them to be circle. But if you wanted them different shapes, go for it. I also have a Tupperware container here just for when I'm drilling the holes, and I'm going to use the lid as well because that's quite useful when you're doing the engraving bit as well. So just a Tupperware container and a spray bottle of water as well. So those are the tools that we need. Let's get started. So first of all, we want to cut our glass into some small circle shapes. So I'm using gold irid here because I think it's nice, it adds a nice sparkle. You could also add powders if you wanted to add some colour, or you could add mica. It's totally up to you. We're just going to use the plain gold irid for this one. So you want your circle cutter, pair of goggles, and some cutting oil. And I'm just going to pop my glass in and make sure the cutter isn't going to go off the edge of the glass, but I'm going to try and use this piece as economically as possible. So I'm going to go around in this circle up here, take the sticker off before we begin. A little bit of oil on the cutting head. Not too much because we'll have to clean it off again. And I'm going to do all of the circles before I start breaking them out. So try and get as many out of this piece of glass as possible. Okay, so I've scored the circles. I'm going to flip this piece over and I'm going to use the end of my pliers just to apply pressure to try and break these circles out, just to start them cracking. So I've cracked all of those circles and now I'm going to release them. I'm going to use the mosaic nippers to gently nip away the edge of the glass. So that is the quickest, simplest way to cut lots of small circles. So I'm just gonna clean this up now. I'll give those a good clean before they go in the kiln because they're a bit oily. And they're just going to go into the firing on an ordinary tack fuse. You can put them face up or face down. I quite like to put the irid side face down on the kiln shelf because that gives me a nice flat surface to then engrave into. Now we've got our pieces fused, we can engrave on either the irid side or the glass side. It's totally up to you. But I'm going to pop them onto this Tupperware lid. It's just going to help contain the water a little bit because I'm going to be spraying them. So the water just protects the grind a bit and prevents the diamonds being burnt off from there. So it will make these last longer. So I've got my Dremel tool here. I'm using the Flexi attachment. It just makes it a lot easier to do engraving with because it's flexible and it's lighter to hold than holding the whole Dremel tool. Ideally you would want this hung up so it's out of the way, but I don't have a hook here, so this is what we're working with. And I'm just going to spray the glass like that with a little bit of water. And you can use a stencil. I'll show you how. So we'll use, let's go for this snowflake one. It's quite festive. And you just want to pop it onto your glass like so. I'm going to give it a bit more of a spray. The stencil does actually help keep the water in place as well, which is useful. So you might find you might need to stop and apply more water. If it's looking white and powdery, that means you need more water. So do just stop and add an extra spray of water as and when you need it. So here we go. I'll pop the Dremel on and start engraving. So there we go. That's a lovely snowflake design dremeled in there. While it's wet, it's quite hard to see, but when they dry, that becomes a lovely frosted effect, and that will show up nice and white and bright. And it's really quick, really easy to do. You can see it's drying quite quickly there. If I pop it down on the table there, and it's catching the light in a really lovely way. So it's a really fun thing to do. You don't have to use a stencil, you can just go freehand. So here's one that I've done on, this is Deep Royal Blue, and I just did that one freehand. So have fun creating your own Christmassy designs. So now we've done our engraving, we want to drill a hole so we can hang it up. So I've got my Tupperware container here, and inside I've just got a piece of cardboard that I've wrapped tape around just to stop it going soggy too quickly, but you could use a little block of wood or something like that. That's just there to rest my glass on top of, like that. When you're drilling the hole, you don't drill through the bottom of the container and then your water leaks out everywhere. So you want your glass on top of there, and then you want to put enough water just to cover your glass. You don't need loads and loads, it's just to cover the glass so that when you're drilling it, you are drilling into water so you don't ruin your drill bit. There we go, just enough. And this time we want to use the straight drill bit. So you don't want the ball one for this. So not these ones, you want the straight one, like this. I'm going to start nice and slow, and I'm going to start on an angle like this, and then once the bit has some purchase on the glass, I'll start to bring it up vertical, and I'm just going to move it round in circles slowly, so pivoting it around, and that's going to help it work its way through the glass. And in no time at all, we'll have a hole. So off we go. about a medium speed. So there we go, it's ready to be threaded on a piece of string and ready to hang on your Christmas tree. Happy Christmas from everyone here at the Glass School. I hope you've enjoyed this project. Thank you for watching. For more projects like this, subscribe to our channel. For more in-depth tutorials, click the link and head over to our website. Allow us to take you on a new learning journey, inspire your creativity and elevate your work to new levels.